every year we're told the same story. This year, everything changes. New tools, new threats, new panic. But here's the truth. Most people don't want to say it out. The game's been rigged. The game has always been rigged. It was rigged before AI. It was rigged before the internet. It was rigged even before social media. And yet people are still out there winning. So the question isn't, is the game fair? We all know the answer to that question. The real question that we should be asking ourselves is, how do we play the hand that we've been dealt with very well? This year is unlikely to feel dramatically better or worse for most people, right? What's always going to be consistent is the cost of pressure. That's going to stay the same. Uncertainty, that's going to stay the same. Emotions stay high. That's going to stay the same. So I don't think we're suddenly going to leap forward economically. I think we're going to be staying at this hovering place. And hovering really it's really not comfortable. It's an uncomfortable place to be because it makes people impatient. Most people don't fail in the collapse. They fail while they are waiting. So employees are going to be quite fearful. AI is going to be replacing their jobs. AI is going to be replacing that. But for business owners, we see opportunity. We see opportunity. So even down to the smallest thing about automation, that doesn't remove responsibility. I can get a reminder from my calendar every single day or from my assistant every single day reminding me that I've got a meeting. But if I don't attend that meeting, there's no use having those reminders. But what it does do, it amplifies that decision-making process, whether it's from the CEO level right down to sales, management, that kind of thing. So AI doesn't remove the need for thinking, and it doesn't punish people who don't think. Now, AI, for founders especially, it moves things faster, it tests cheaper, it scales our systems. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't fix bad judgment, it doesn't fix poor offers, and it doesn't fix lack of clarity, which I wish that it would, but it doesn't fix all that. But automation scales wherever it already exists. So where there is confusion, ChatGPT, amazing, put all your ideas in that and let it just formulate your ideas for you in one consistent pattern, or one consistent plan. So for me, myself, as a business owner, I think a small business owner, I think AI is amazing. Yes, I love AI. I love all these new modern day technologies. I love them. And I think it's great for business owners to put us on a pedestal or in a position where we compete with bigger companies, even if it's for marketing, making things look professional, all that great stuff. So like everything else, there's only going to be a small window for this, right? In the early stages where things are always opening up, money attracts attention, right? Once profit is obvious, right? So once a profit is obvious, regulation, then we see the regulation stage, then we see competition, and then we see where the capital arrives. So we've seen this pattern before. And we've seen it with the internet, we've seen it with eBay, we've seen it with Amazon, social media, cryptocurrency, all those first things. Initially, when it came out, it was bad, right? It was the worst thing since sliced bread. So I can only talk from, say, the internet because I lived prior to the internet and when the internet first was being introduced. And to be able to get onto anything, you had to use a VPN. It wasn't allowed. The internet wasn't even allowed in the schools, right? Because it was considered to be a bad thing. But look at today, everywhere you look around, like I go to the doctor's surgery and it's like, oh, go on the internet. So how things have dramatically changed in the last, would I say 25, 26 years, or even probably a little bit longer than that. But those of us that are, I would want to say, 30 and upwards, through a life without the internet. This isn't conspiracy. It's economics. And then we've seen it. And so nobody can say we could unsee something that we've already seen. We've seen it happen over and over again. So the big players, they don't innovate first. They optimize second. What most people don't realize is that what we are seeing publicly is never the cutting edge. What we get is a release that is stable enough, safe enough, and profitable enough to test and then scale. So it's really a pattern based insight. Military, enterprise, research tech always predates consumer tech. So public tools are the simplified version of this. So early users are effectively what we're doing is testing the behavior. And that doesn't just happen in software. What is being released now isn't the future. It's the onboarding phase. And that sounds to me like the best thing. So where others might be scattering around and reaching for the hills, entrepreneurs, founders are going to see the opportunities in this. And this is a really, really big opportunity to be using that in your business. I also say this is that you might not be able to afford a X or Y, Z, right? Maybe not. So if there is an AI tool that can do that for you, you're winning. So don't try to outrun the system. Don't panic. Don't chase anything. You just need to beat the game. You need to play the hand that you've been given and you need to play that well. So the best way to do it is incremental progress. Give clear offers, make fewer decisions and make better decisions. Systems always outrule hustle. The people that are going to win this year won't look busy. They'll look boring, but they will be profitable. So this year's not going to reward people that are running around and panicking. Right? We need clarity. We need restraint. We need consistency. We know, right? The game is rigged. It's been rigged since the beginning of time. But you know what? Your skill set still matters. So nobody can take away your knowledge and your skill set. So in my next episode, what I'm going to do, I'll break down how to think, decide, and build calmly this season without doing it without burnout. So until next time, thank you for tuning in.